What's up, guys? Matthew here. I'm going to be watching the series finale of one of my all-time favorite shows, Mr. Robot. You guys know I had to dress up a little bit. Let me tell you what, I don't look as cool or as hot as Rami Malek does in a black hood, but I thought I'd do my best to try to cosplay a little bit. I'm so excited. I am just gonna hop straight into it. I don't want to say a lot of. You guys have heard my yappings and ramblings and theories and this and that throughout the last couple episodes. I have my theories. I have my predictions. I want to see them come to fruition. I want to see how this entire show plays out. So stay tuned. Obviously, I'm gonna watch this episode, and then I'm going to have a very serious discussion. I am going to be watching the episode, then I'm going to I might talk for like 1 or 2 minutes, then I'm going to go, I'm going to rewatch the season 1, episode 4, whole entire dream sequence, so that's a big commitment as well. Then I'm just going to say my thoughts about the series, my favorite characters. I'm probably going to do a top 10 favorite characters list. I am probably going to rank, I'm obviously going to rank season 4 compared to all season 4s of TV I've ever watched. I'm also going to compare Mr. Robot as a show in its entirety comparative to all shows I've watched. So I've already said it's bare minimum top 10. I just gotta find an exact place for it. But yeah, I'm gonna have a decent ass discussion at the end, so I might be talking for like another hour or two. So I think I'm ready for this. If you guys like the video, please drop a like and leave a comment. It really helps me out. I have got the full-length reactions up on Patreon to the entire series. It is $10 a month for my live action shows. They're going to be over on Patreon in perpetuity, so check it out if you're interested. And finally, and most importantly, if you enjoy my content, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. Again, it really does help me out. Let's get into season 4, episode 13, the final episode of Mr. fucking Robot. Let's go. Is he dead? Is that original? It's original Elliot. I'm almost positive, but
Please, don't judge me.
I don't know. I don't know if I can judge.
I had no other choice. Now the only thing left to do is a full wipe down.
I don't know. Because I don't know who's the original. No, I know who's the original. I don't know the context. Because I don't know if he deserves to live in this perfect world, or if the original Elliot deserves to live in the outside world. I don't know which one, you know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Box him in. Dude, you're gonna be like fucking 3 hours late. Cause this is what I mean. If this is not,
Wondering if you were gonna show up.
he obviously isn't real Elliot. Has he already done this? Has he already taken control of Elliot's outside life?
I'm in a hurry though, so let's talk on the way, okay?
On the way to what, exactly?
My wedding.
It's not your wedding.
I didn't think it was possible. White Rose's machine, somehow it worked. We're in a world where everything's better.
Nope.
You're here to tell me what I did was
Not
wrong.
anymore. You need to start seeing that for yourself.
I don't understand. I had to.
Had to what?
This is the only strategy for us.
Strategy?
What, you're just gonna take his place? Is that what this is? It's not that easy.
Why not? I look exactly like him.
But you're not him. Yeah, this is the exact. I feel like this is the exact thing that's already happened in the original thing.
You are not him.
You're trying to be him.
I'm not letting you steal this from me.
I'm not trying to steal it.
Do you think the thief is here?
If you don't want to help me,
He's got to come to the realization on his own. This fucking theme.
Unfortunately, I can't let you get away with this.
One last time.
Then I'm gonna need that ID.
This feels like... It's like Lost. It's like... I love this shit.
Sir, what is this? I asked for your ID.
it's my ID.
Sir, this ID belongs to Elliot Alderson.
Yeah. It's me.
You're not him. You're a version
Person is
of
nothing like
Elliot that he created to help him, and you're trying to take his life?
Put your hands in the air right fucking now.
Jesus Christ!
Get on your knees!
You gonna kill her right here, right now? We're blowing everything up? It would not be Mr. Robot without one last chase scene. It wouldn't be Mr. Robot without his shot in the subway. I told you.
Leave the fuck alone.
It's not you. This world is spontaneously combusting without him.
It's not an option, kiddo.
What a great shot.
Things were fine between us. It's still the same you, isn't it? You just don't want me to be happy. Why can't you just let me have this one thing?
You need to listen to me.
No! I don't! I'm listening to you. Just want to be fucking alone.
Jesus Christ, man. Remind me of the shot in season 2. Oh, ew. Oh, I'm feeling uncomfortable.
You should put this on. It's cold out today.
I came prepared.
What the fuck is going on? Where's Angela?
I'm speechless. I haven't said anything for 10 fucking minutes.
There was never gonna be a wedding, Elliot.
Come
I'm
on.
trying to tell you.
You told me everything right here?
White Rose's machine created this. That's why we're here.
No, it didn't. You were right about her game. Deactivated the machine, just like you thought it would. This is a world you created.
Dude, was there actually shaking? Like maybe there was actually an earthquake and he hit his head?
I created.
Boom! Boom!
I tried to bring you back here a while ago.
You've been here before?
You accidentally slipped into it once when you were going through your morphine withdrawal.
Oh! I can't wait to watch that scene.
This is some kind of dream?
Not a dream.
Perfect world.
Prison.
A prison. Did he put original Elliot?
Loop that you constructed about a year ago. To keep him occupied.
So he wouldn't come back? Okay.
Who?
You. OG you. But my question, did original Elliot make this Elliot? Or did he, like, on purpose? Or was it, like, a monster that appeared?
The real Elliot.
So he's only been active for a year? Or has it been more?
You think the guy that was back at my apartment was the real Elliot?
You damn right he was.
As real as he could be in this deluded fantasy that you've stuck him in.
But is he dead? Have you killed him, or?
You're no more Elliot Alderson than I am.
Jesus.
Only a part of him. And if you don't let go, he'll never get back to living his own life.
What life? I killed him, remember?
You can't kill him.
Okay.
No matter how hard you try.
You can only imprison him?
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
I'm fucking... Dude, I love this shit.
I'm not Elliot.
Who am I?
Who the fuck am I?
You already know.
Subconsciously held it down. This... Oh, wow. This version of Elliot has also... Has also... Oh my god, I can't speak. He's held shit down inside. Oh, Angela was in a wedding dress. Was she not? Or like a white dress in the fucking season 1, episode 4? Damn it, I should have seen that. It's like two children chasing after each other, you know what I mean? I have goosebumps. Am I going crazy, or does he look a couple years younger? Was this, or is this the actual, or is this the same scene, or did they film this back then, or is this the same scene and I just forgot?
Isn't it obvious?
Okay, no.
He tried to tell you.
Same.
You're not Elliot.
I
You're
cut
the
off.
mastermind.
Mastermind. So, again, I'm still like... Did original Elliot create the mastermind?
Hey!
And he's taken over? Or did the mastermind create himself? You know what I mean? To try and take over Elliot's... Jesus fucking Christ. What am I looking at? This is so fucking trippy. Is he back in jail? Oh, well, this is jail. Oh, hey, babe. Bonsoir. This is so fucking trippy.
Bonsoir, Elliot.
There it is. Is Mr. Robot trying to bury him? What's the symbolism of whale noises?
Please wake up.
Oh, is he in like a coma? That's Darlene's voice, I think. Is this actually happening, or is this in the world, or...
Hello, Elliot.
Oh. No, this is not real. Again.
But you're not really Krista.
No, of course not. But since you trusted Krista so much, the others thought it would be better if she spoke to you.
Damn, how many are there?
Why would I trust any of you? You've been trying to kill me.
We've been trying to show you the truth, and you've been resisting.
Not this again. I can't talk to you. I need to talk to Darlene.
She's not here.
Okay, so I would... Elliot created all these different versions of himself to help himself cope and all that, and this one specific version, this mastermind, has taken too much control.
I heard her voice.
Yes. She's trying to wake you. Elliot's connection to her is quite strong. So strong, she's become his only link.
Yep, that's why this...
In fact,
that's why the
it
mastermind...
was by design she was removed from this fantasy.
Because if she was there, he would have kept control.
It was your best chance at trapping him here. In order for you to fully hear the truth, first, we need to discuss Elliot's dissociative identity disorder. First personality was created the day Elliot jumped out the window.
Okay.
You're just sick and don't.
Oh my god, this is like exact timeline showing me.
The protector personality.
Okay.
The one Elliot created to replace his father.
Just a robot.
To protect him from intolerable situations.
This was the lure dump of all lure dumps.
Later in life, created the mother personality.
Whoa.
The persecutor.
Damn, he had so many.
Insisting that he needed to pay for it. Came Elliot's younger self, who emerged to handle the abuse he couldn't tolerate.
Wow.
He'd created his own family of sorts.
We're deep down inside you, Elliot. You can't leave us.
Oh, I cannot wait to rewatch this fucking show.
I guess she doesn't know about you.
I know all about them too.
Am I just like a...
Who think they aren't a part of this despite being
Am I just
here
a
for all
watcher?
of it.
Am I like the audience for this superhero?
But there's another one who came about not too long ago.
Okay, he's new. So I would assume that that's the 1 month before the start of this thing.
I know where you're going with this. It's not true.
It's okay. I know why you... Your heart was in the right place. You wanted to shelter him. His past.
I want you to tell me about your father.
Kept shoving me away. Fell backwards out the window. I wasn't changing anything. That's what I thought happened.
Wow.
Future you really wanted to protect, wasn't it?
Get now, or I'll call the
Police? And you want them to find out about the hundreds of your feet?
That's why you went to such great lengths to take down him in the real world.
Oh my god.
Hello, Evil Corp. We are F Society.
And over time, he'd forgotten that he'd forgotten his true purpose, his true coding.
The world, so you can make it better for him no matter the cost. While you hid him here, turning his harsh reality
Yep.
into a fantasy.
I have goosebumps.
A repetitive, boring routine.
It's not fair to him to keep him there.
Krista never quite figured it out, did she? She never realized she wasn't talking to the real Elliot. She didn't realize she was always talking to you. The vigilante hacker. Always imagined being
I don't just hack you, Krista. I hack everyone.
Jesus.
a personality that had gained so much control.
Something is going on with you, Elliot. You have not.
Forget again.
He forgot he was only just another.
Does Darlene... Has Darlene run into this before?
You're the mastermind.
And now it's time
Let
for
go.
you to give that control back to the host.
Is he gonna refuse? I don't think he will. I think he'll come to...
The real Elliot.
So I've never fucking seen the real Elliot. Other than the really, really young. And obviously the dreamlike state.
No!
Don't do this.
I don't ever have to give up control.
This isn't your control. This is your rage.
But then maybe it's time I used it.
If you wake up, you'll just be stealing Elliot's life again.
Wow. Shot. It's almost like Darlene is... Oh, that shot of the... Oh my god, it's like Two-Face. It's almost like Darlene is his monster. Like the way he's like turning, because I would assume that... Is she still here? Almost like he doesn't want to face Darlene. Because I would assume deep down he feels guilt that he's essentially taken... He's taken Darlene away from original Elliot.
Oh my god, you're finally awake. I should call the nurse.
This is real, isn't it? Please tell me this isn't a dream.
This isn't a dream, Elliot. I am right here. I promise.
Obviously, like, I want OG Elliot to... Even though I've essentially never really experienced him.
I thought I'd never see you again.
I thought I lost you too.
Aww.
I'm not going anywhere.
But you sure make it fucking hard to believe that sometimes. The only way you survived was because the room you were in. Some sort of advanced shielding.
Probably hit his head.
Along with that machine Angela said she was hiding.
Fucking...
The power supply, it malfunctioned.
This machine, a thing of nuts and bolts and lights and shit.
Guess it's official. You saved the world, Elliot Alderson.
You're not Elliot. But it's almost like the mastermind had taken everything too far, and it's almost like Elliot, the OG Elliot had a chance to live a perfect world in this world, and it almost feels like the mastermind, through his path and his damages, kind of has taken that away from him. But also, he still deserves to live in this world.
I don't think I can do this.
Do what?
Who I am. It isn't real.
You remember my promise to you. As long as I was here for you, as long as you could hold my hand, and you would know that this is real.
I want to cry, man.
And I am telling you, this is real. I was there with you through all of society, our hack on E-Corp 5-9, the cyber bombings, us robbing those evil motherfuckers after what they did to Angela. She's gone. Same with Romero. Martin, Mobley, Shayla. Elliot, I wouldn't lie to you. This isn't in your head. This is real.
This is I know a month before.
What are you talking about?
Is Darlene coming back? What created, not created, but like what caused him to want to take over, to have that relationship?
Not him.
This nurse is taking her fucking sweet ass time.
I'm only a part of him.
You know? Not really giving a reaction.
I know.
Jesus.
No, you're not him.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
The Elliot I grew up with, at least.
But at least some Elliot.
Known since we started F Society.
Wow.
At first I thought maybe it was you, but different.
Just a weird patch.
But then when you forgot who I was again, it wasn't hard to figure it out from there.
Damn. How many times this has happened in their lives? Like, what? No, well, we got the rundown, so it didn't. Why does he keep? No, I gotta wait. I gotta wait.
We were hanging out. We were spending time together. I felt like we were finally getting close.
No. You think back to her saying she didn't care about our society. She just wanted to spend time.
What did he do?
He didn't do anything.
Just so closed off and.
It was me. I wasn't there.
Oh.
I didn't know how to talk to him.
No.
I couldn't deal with what he was going through, so I gave up and took off. That was part of the reason why I came back. I wanted to fix things. But he was gone and you were here instead.
Is it because of her absence that created it?
Is he okay?
I made a safe place for him. It's got everything he ever wanted.
Except you, which it's the only thing left
He deserves that.
in this world, and I feel like he deserves a chance to connect with her.
You know, even though I bailed on him, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him. I really miss him.
You got to, man. You fucking got to.
I'm gonna go get the nurse.
Yeah, this is fucking shitty ass nurse.
I'm wrong. He doesn't have everything.
Oh.
And even though I'm only a part of him, I want you to know I love you.
Oh my god. You gotta let him in. The question is, if he does let OG Elliot take control, does that get rid of his existence, or does he become just a part of with his the family, you know what I mean? I have some of the most fucking intense goosebumps you can ever fucking imagine a human having. What a happy family, just to protect him.
This whole time I thought changing the world was something you did. An act you perform.
This whole show really is about a version of a compartment of Elliot.
What if changing the world was just about being here? Up, no matter how many times we get told we don't belong. By staying true even when we're shamed into being false. By believing in ourselves even when we're told we're too different. And if we all held on to that, if we refused to budge and fall in line, if we stood our ground for long enough, just maybe, the world can't help but change around us. Even though we'll be gone, it's like Mr. Robot said, always be a part of Elliot Alderson. And we'll be the best part.
I'm happy to be a part of the family.
The part that always showed up. We're the part that stayed. We're the part that changed him. And who wouldn't be proud of that?
Oh, this shot. Oh, let's see him leave. This fucking shot.
Come on. This only works if you let go too.
I'm letting go. No, do I get a seat? Am I or am I watching you guys? That's great, watching the movie of his life. You know, I feel bad for him too, you know what I mean? But it's his life. Oh, that's great. I don't know when it ends. I kind of want to... Do I get to see OG Elliot waking up? With the light shining in the eye? Oh, look at the fucking memories. You guys know. You guys fucking know. Oh my god, wow.
Hello, Elliot.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god. There was tears. I gotta say, there was tears. That is such a beautiful fucking ending. I'm gonna be straight up honest. I'm going to have a huge discussion. I don't want to like talk for 30 minutes and then watch the episode 4 thing and then talk for another 30 minutes. So I'm just gonna immediately go straight into my reaction of you know, season 1, episode 4, the that sequence that, you know, I'm so excited to watch. So I'm gonna hop straight into it. So let's go. So now I'm asking, and I'm gonna assume, so him slipping into this world, is it just because it was such a traumatic experience of the
Just to get me
getting through the withdrawal?
Do that.
There wasn't like a specific thing that mentally caused it, just the traumatic experience.
Come on.
See, I want you guys to recall, and I've said it multiple times throughout my viewing of Mr. Robot, it's fucking terrible that this is the lowest rated episode of the show, because this is the episode that hooked me into it being all-time great.
Dear brothers and sisters, now is the time to open your eyes. If you have not yet woken up to the reality of profiteering and enslavement, I hope you realize we are fast running out of time. In retrieving lost, damaged, or stolen memory, we have your back. We are F Society.
Fuck, dude. He's even in the fucking suit.
What's it open?
Here's the key.
Belongs to you now. Made in the Orient. Made just for your head. Now, find your monster and turn the key. But first...
I love this. Again, it's very Attack on Titan-esque, and it's why I love Mr. Robot. Watching the final episodes, it changes your entire perspective on your viewing experience. You know what I mean? Everything is so obvious on a rewatch that you kind of feel stupid. Wasn't his fucking memories, so.
First, can you tell me, what's your monster? I think you dropped this.
It's so fucking... Oh, it's right there! Oh my god!
Your water, does it need changing?
When you live in a fishbowl, ain't no such. My entire life's been spent in this thing. My whole world's on your side.
Jesus.
Same shit, different day. The light. Even the sounds, always the same. And it won't stop unless my life does.
It's... right? Oh my god.
I do. I want to help.
I think it's pretty obvious. There's really only one thing.
Give me a window. You know, I'm going to be honest, and I think you guys can tell from my discussions, the fish was one of the parts of the symbolism that I really didn't even have any, like, it was hard for me to grasp, but oh my god, you know what I mean? It's right in your face. It wants you, like, it's upset that you don't get it.
Yes, Elliot, I do.
Aww. It's the exact lead-in, like. He's, oh my god, that's crazy. This is crafted by a genius.
There's people in there.
It is the exact scene. See, in the episode,
I just told them what they wanted to hear.
I didn't know if it was a like a reshoot or anything, but it's the
You're not
exact
gonna do it,
scene.
are you?
Like they recut it.
Change the world. Figures. You're only born a month ago. Afraid of your monster.
Elliot.
It doesn't fit.
It's not yours.
Why not?
Isn't it obvious?
Wow.
You are not Elliot. You are the...
Stop. I'm acting like I'm watching for the first time. Stop with these creepy laughs. That's so great, man. Because I want to repeat, like, this is already my favorite stretch. Like, this might be my favorite 10 minutes of Mr. Robot. I immediately, obviously...
Is this the face of my only friend? Are you my monster?
No, I'm not. What a show. What a show. I'm gonna be honest, it's been about 30 minutes since I last finished the episode. I sat down and I tried to essentially like write down a script and write down stuff I wanted to talk about, and I tried to rank my top 10 favorite characters in order, and I just couldn't. I think it's because like I said, I just finished the show 30 minutes ago. It's all fresh and jumbled in my mind. I don't know if I can hammer down like character rankings and my conversation. I'm not going to go like topic to topic. It's probably going to be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little everywhere. So I do apologize for that because I'm probably going to talk for a decent amount of time. I know people probably aren't even going to listen to it, but I do want to speak about it. But before I get into the exact specific specifications about the season or storylines or any of my theories that I had or anything like that, I do want to do the rankings like I said. So first things first. Obviously, the 4th season of Mr. Robot was my favorite season of Mr. Robot. And Mr. Robot is one of the rare breeds of shows, and I'm not saying that this is necessary to be an all-time great show. For instance, my favorite live-action show of all time, Lost, The Sopranos, The Wire, they don't follow this pattern that I'm about to mention, but Mr. Robot is in that breed of show with Attack on Titan, with Breaking Bad, with Better Call Saul, with something like The Leftovers, in my opinion, in that each season gets better and better and better. And I think that is, again, that's a strong compliment. I'm not saying it's a necessity that a show needs to do that in order to be one of the all-time greats, but it is a bonus. And like I said, Mr. Robot, it's exponential too. Like, it's not just that season was a little bit better than the last one. In my humble opinion, I think strongly each season made a step up. Even season 2, which the general vibe I got from the audience and conversations with a friend is that season 2 is the least liked season. I personally liked season 2 more than season 1. So there you go. Mr. Robot season 4 compared to all season 4s if you've ever watched, and I do want to mention, I probably mentioned this in season 4 episode 1 reaction. Season 4s of television are always iconic. Like, they're always like typically like the best season of shows. So I haven't looked at my list yet, but if Mr. Robot doesn't end up 1, it's not like a I didn't like Mr. Robot season 4. It's just that the competition is very, very steep. So looking at it, Attack on Titan season 4 is my favorite show of all time. And season 4 is the best season, so it's not better than Attack on Titan for me. But it's easily better than Sopranos, it's better than Breaking Bad, it's better than Succession, it's better than The Wire for me, and The Wire is the best season of The Wire, and so that's really, really strong compliments. It's better than Lost season 4, and again, I repeat, Lost is my favorite live-action show of all time. And that's gonna be again. I'm gonna place where Mr. Robot is in my list in a minute. That's interesting. And then Game of Thrones season 4. I think I liked Mr. Robot season 4 more, so I'm going to firmly supplant Mr. Robot as my Mr. Robot season 4 as my second favorite season 4 in the history of TV, and that's, again, I want to repeat, for some reason, season 4s of TV are the most stacked seasonal position of any season. So this season was one of the greatest seasons of TV I've ever watched. I'm talking like, when I think of excellent seasons of TV, I think of Attack on Titan season 4, Vinland Saga season 2, Breaking Bad season 5, Better Call Saul season 6. I think of The Wire season 4, Game of Thrones season 4, Succession season 4, Dexter season 4. You know, Mr. Robot season 4 is there. It's 10 out of 10. There's no hesitation. There's no there's no competition. It's a 10 out of 10 season. So absolute grade A props. Then, like I said in the opening to my discussion, I sat here for a good 20 minutes trying to rank my characters, and I just couldn't. I think I need a breather, and I've always had this opinion. For me, a perfect ranking of characters happens at least after one rewatch. So, a show like Mr. Robot, there's a lot of character ambitions or motivations, or, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, if I ranked my favorite characters, you know what I mean, after the first 3 seasons, I would have Elliot Alderson pretty high, but it's funny, you could argue that Elliot Alderson isn't even a character in the show, because, you know what I mean? The only Elliot Alderson you get is either the Mastermind or Mr. Robot. There's no, like... And I love that ending. I'll get to that in a second. One of the all-time great endings in TV history. Maybe number 1, I'll talk about that, but... Anyway, getting back to the characters, I just couldn't come up with a ranking that I was happy with. So I'm just going to tell you my top 10 favorite characters in no order. I want to give an honorable mention to Tyrell, who was 11th. I might talk about Tyrell as well. I feel like I did talk a good deal about him after episode 3. A character who, and again, no complaints at all. I thought Tyrell would be an all-time great, all-time great top 100 character for me after the first season. Just the way that the story progressed, that didn't end up happening. And I'm not saying that that's, again, not a bad thing, because Mr. Robot has ended up one of my all-time favorite shows. So maybe one could argue that it would be even higher if Tyrell, stayed on that level for me. But it's perfect. Like, again, it's not like a blemish, if you ask me. It's just that I personally thought Tyrell would be like a top 5 character in the show for me, and it didn't end up happening. He was 11th still. I still really liked him. But the list, and also real quick before I also want to say this, I have Elliot Alderson written down, but as I just said, Elliot Alderson isn't even a character in Mr. Robot. You know what I mean? So it's a little iffy, because technically the Elliot that I see and the Elliot that I would rank in a character ranking is Mastermind. It's part Mastermind, it's part Mr. Robot, it's part the mother and the, what is it, the voyeur? Like, what am I? And the kid, it's really hard to rank Elliot Alderson as a character because there's so many characters within him. So on this list, I just have Elliot written down. So my top 10 favorite characters in no order: Angela, Elliot, Darlene, Philip, White Rose, Dom, Joanna, Janice, Vera, and Irving. I absolutely, again, this show, stacked characters, one of the greatest. I don't know if this is classified as an ensemble, because I don't know if ensemble just means a large cast of characters, or an ensemble is where there is no specific main character, and this show very evidently had a main character. But the grouping, the collection of characters in the show is iconic, and especially the villains. And I'll mention some of them. I'll talk about White Rose and stuff like that eventually. But the collection of this show is crazy character-wise and acting-wise. I do want to, going back to what I said and how I can't wait to rewatch the show, because I feel like that's when my character rankings really stay in put. I mean, by a character like Darlene, I feel like my entire outlook on Darlene as a character, and I got goosebumps thinking about it, changed. You know what I mean? Especially in the 4th season, to the point where on a rewatch, Darlene might end up being like a top 3 character for me. I gotta say, I'll officially give it. I cried. I cried in that season finale. I cried, when Darlene said hello, Elliot. You know what I mean? That is so. I'll get into that in a minute. I'll get into it. But like, I want to cry now. I have goosebumps now. That whole that conversation with Elliot, just or that conversation with the mastermind, I should say, really just. I love Darlene so much, man. And I don't want to get too personal too, and I think it's also a part of why I really really cried, or wanted to. I have a sister whom I don't speak to. You know what I mean? So it's that really hit close to home. So I really. I'll talk about that. But the final ranking I do want to say, and one could argue the most important one, Mr. Robot, as a show, where does it rank in my all-time show ranking? I like it more than Breaking Bad. And Breaking Bad now I will say this list is a little outdated, so I don't, not outdated. It's like ranking stuff is so hard for me sometimes. So I've wanted to go through this list and change it around a little bit. So this is the spot that I give it is probably going to be the final spot. But the and you're not going to see it, but like the stuff I have written down on my list right here may not necessarily be the exact order that I actually think it is. But immediately, Mr. Robot is top 5. I like it more than Game of Thrones. I like it more. I'd probably like it better than Game of Thrones. I like it better than Breaking Bad. I like it better than The Wire. I like it better than The Sopranos. Severance is a really good show, and I'm very excited to see how it goes, but it's not touching Mr. Robot for me. Now, The Leftovers. The Leftovers is the first show where I gotta think. No, I like Mr. Robot better than The Leftovers, but that's the first one where I go, that's a fight. You know what I mean? That's a fight, but I think clearly Mr. Robot is better than The Leftovers for me. Better Call Saul. I love Better Call Saul. I really do. I really love Better Call Saul. But I think I like Mr. Robot more. Do I like Mr. Robot more than Better Call Saul? Now, I will say this. I don't necessarily know if I can immediately give it to being better than Better Call Saul, because I've seen Better Call Saul 6 times. Better Call Saul is tied for the show that I've watched the most. Now, I will tell you straight up, come back to me in 2 or 3 years, I will have watched Mr. Robot 6 times. Like, that's how good this is and how much I want to rewatch it. So when it gets to a show like Better Call Saul, where I'm kind of on the edge about which one I like more, it's not done yet. You know what I mean? It's not over. So sorry, there was a fly. It's not over. I need to watch Mr. Robot a decent amount more for me to, from like emotion. I think Mr. Robot narratively for me is a better show than Better Call Saul, but emotionally, like connection to characters, I think because I've seen Better Call Saul so much, it's almost like a comfort show. I don't know if I can necessarily give it there, if that makes any sense to you guys. Lost. I don't like Mr. Robot better than Lost. And I want to say that I think that Mr. Robot is a significantly better show than Lost. I don't want anyone to mistake what I'm saying. But as I've said many times on this channel in my Mr. Robot reactions, Lost, I love the mystery genre. I love questions and unanswered truths and mystery box shows. And this is what Mr. Robot was. Mr. Robot is one of the all-time great mystery box shows in my opinion. But Lost is the mystery box that introduced me to mystery boxes, if that makes sense. It's the first piece of mystery media that I fell in love with. And again, say whatever you want to say about Lost. Some may say it's a bad show or it ends bad or anything like that, and to be quite honest, my personal opinion, I think you're absolutely stupid and full of shit if you think like that. But for me, Lost is my baby. You know what I mean? So 100,000% after one watch, I've watched Lost 6 times as well. Lost is tied with Better Call Saul as my most watched show of all time. So maybe after a couple of rewatches of Mr. Robot that might change, but as of right now, I like Lost more. And then Attack on Titan. Again, I don't want to. I love Lost. There is I see potential for Mr. Robot to be one of my favorite. I see potential for, after a couple of rewatches, for Mr. Robot to surpass Lost. I'm going to be straight up honest. Like, there is a good chance that after I watch Mr. Robot 2 or 3 times, I will like it more than Lost. So that would mean that from this point that I'm filming this in July of 2025, I see potential for Mr. Robot to end up as my second favorite show of all time, because I cannot. It's not better than Attack on Titan for me. It doesn't. I'm not saying that there's a gap, but I'm saying that Attack on Titan is a firm number one. Nothing that Mr. Robot could do, or my perception of it could change, would make me like it more than Attack on Titan. So, Mr. Robot, to summarize, Mr. Robot is anywhere from my second to like fourth or fifth favorite show of all time. And if you go back to when I started watching the show, I said that this had potential, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy for this show and for me watching this show, because in recent years, and again, I repeat, I have a film degree. I want to be an author one day. I watch a lot of TV. It's gotten to the point where I'm so like in the community, if that makes sense. Like, I've heard about all the great shows. I heard about Sopranos and Breaking Bad and The Wire, and I hear about all these things. So my expectations start to rise a little bit. And for the first time in my life, the last couple of years, I've watched a couple shows that have been so built up for me that were disappointments. I'm not saying they were bad shows. I'll specifically call out one. Something like Code Geass was one of my most anticipated shows I was ever going to watch. It was built up as, one of the great animes. Specifically, I would absolutely love it. And I'm going to be honest, I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. It's probably like a top 30 show for me. But it was nothing special for me. So a small part of me was kind of scared not scared that it would happen, but scared that it physically could happen. That I would watch Mr. Robot after years and years and years of build-up, after years and years and years of people telling me that I would absolutely fall in love with Mr. Robot as a show. There was a part of me that was kind of scared that it was just gonna fail, and it didn't. And not only did it not fail, but it was higher than my expectations. It was better than I thought it would be. And that's crazy, because I thought it would be a 10 out of 10 show, and it ended up being an 11 out of 10 show. So good, dude. So good, man. I'm just so happy, man. I want to talk about again, I'll get into specifics, and I preface, this is going to be a long discussion. I'm going to be very honest. That is in conversation for my favorite ending of anything ever. The Leftovers is in that conversation. I love Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is a great ending, but Mr. Robot's ending is better. Same with Breaking Bad. Mr. Robot's better. I love Lost's ending, but Mr. Robot's better. Attack on Titan. Again, I just said this. Attack on Titan is my favorite show of all time. I will tell you, I like Mr. Robot's ending better. I 1000% do. I'm not saying I don't like Attack on Titan's ending, because Attack on Titan's ending is also a 10 out of 10. But Mr. Robot's ending it's so good. So I love Monster's ending. I love Death Note's ending. Your Line April's ending is amazing. A whole bunch. Succession has a great ending. I think I went through my list. That Adventure Time. I'll shout out Adventure Time. It's a cartoon, but it has a 10 out of 10 ending. Ending wise, final episode wise, as in the conclusion to arcs and characters and everything that a show has, Mr. Robot, again, it's the same position. It's bare minimum top 2. It is bare minimum top 2 ending of all time. The Leftovers ending gives it a run for its money. I would really recommend you guys watch The Leftovers if you liked the show. I'm not saying that they're the exact same. There is a lot of differences, but I think anyone who would like Mr. Robot would absolutely love The Leftovers. I can't pick. And you know what? I'll say this. Tie. And that might be a cop-out, and I don't like to give ties, but I want to repeat. I need to rewatch Mr. Robot, and I also need to rewatch The Leftovers, because it's been a long time since I watched The Leftovers. So I need to do that. I need to rewatch both shows immediately. So as of right now, there is a two-way tie for my favorite ending in the history of fiction. Not just TV. I don't know not just TV, not just movies, not in the history of fiction. Mr. Robot and The Leftovers tied for my favorite ending in the history of fiction. You know what? I'm thinking about it. Maybe Mr. Robot's number 1, but I don't know. I don't know. I really like Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot's ending. It's peak. It is peak. It's arguably the best. So, like I said, top 2, maybe number 1. I don't want to give it that yet, because I need to rewatch it, and I also need to rewatch The Leftovers. So, boom, 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 boom. I think I've said everything, like, broad. I think I want to go into some specifics here. It's amazing. It's amazing, and I guess I'll start off with the what made me, the first 3 episodes of the show were amazing. Like, I was already in it, and I was already hooked, and I was already liking it. But you guys go back. Season 1, episode 4 is what made me go, oh, it is all-time great. Season 1, episode 4 of Mr. Robot was the equivalent of episode 4 of Lost, the equivalent of episode 3 of The Leftovers. It was the hook for me. And as I mentioned multiple times throughout my viewing of the show, it blew my mind that it's the lowest rated episode of the show because that dream sequence hooked me. And if you go back, and I can't wait to, I obviously went back and, you guys saw it if you watched my reaction. I went back and watched season 1, episode 4, that scene. But I didn't go back and watch my reaction to it, so I don't know what I said. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't remember if I made any predictions or if I picked up on anything. I don't think I did, because even on a rewatch, it blew my mind. I love that, and that is why Attack on Titan is my favorite show of all time, because it's the same viewing experience. You watch something and there's so many mysteries, and you go, oh, you get shocked by so many plot twists and all that, and then you get all the reveals and you rewatch the show and you go, it was there. And they didn't try to hide it. It was there the entire time. Like, it's so blatantly obvious. It's so obvious that you originally can't fathom that it's that obvious. You know what I mean? So the reason that Attack on Titan and Lost and Mr. Robot now are some of my all-time favorite shows is because not only is it a one experience thing, not only are you shocked by twists and turns and, making it arguably the best experience you can experience in TV, but then it also gives you a free second experience. When you rewatch, you know certain things, and it changes your perspective on whatever's going on certain characters' motivations and plot twists and all that. And I love that so much, man. I absolutely love that. I feel like I had some good predictions throughout the show. Again, I didn't get anything 100% right, but I feel like I grazed a lot of the correct things. I have to go back, and it's one of the, I don't know if that's like egotistical or anything like that. I'm just kind of interested. I can't wait to go back and rewatch my own reactions of Mr. Robot. Not only am I going to rewatch Mr. Robot, I'm going to rewatch me rewatching Mr. Robot. But I had multiple. I had a third personality theory pretty early on. I even had the idea during that third personality theory that the Elliot that I see isn't the original one. That maybe he had created this one to, I didn't say protect, but to do something for him. And the real I will say this right now. Like, I did not think that the mastermind, and I didn't know it was a mastermind, obviously, but I think if I remember my theory correctly, I didn't think that the mastermind was the one in charge or like pushing the real Elliot down. I thought that I made a stupid theory that like the real Elliot would be like some evil entity that was like lying in wait or anything like that. But no, it was, if anything, it was the kind of the reverse. I'm not calling the mastermind evil because he's not evil, but I think I had some good predictions, and you guys have to know, or if you let me know, if you guys watched my my reactions in like a short span of time, let me know about any good theories or good predictions or anything I had, and I want to see them. Like, bookmark them, somewhere. Drop the time card in any of the episodes in the YouTube comments, so I can go back and watch, because I'm so excited and interested to see if I said anything that makes me go, wow, that was actually pretty good. I think that it's so interesting of the show that, like, I repeat, Elliot Alderson isn't in the show. Elliot Alderson isn't. No, he's not. He's. So I want to make sure I'm getting this timeline exactly correct. 1 month before the beginning of the story, the mastermind was formed. Same with all of the other versions of him. It was formed out of trauma. It was formed out of a need for something. Mr. Robot was a need for a protective father. I don't want to say need, because the motherly figure, the one that is sort of, it said Elliot blames himself for things, I don't think that's needed necessarily. I just think that that's born out of trauma. You know what I mean? Same with the kid protector one, that, you know what I mean? I think that's also needed. And again, I don't think that if I think I'm getting this correct. Me as the audience member, I don't think that I'm created by Elliot. I think that I'm created by the mastermind, correct? And I was made for the mastermind, either a need for the mastermind to talk to someone or just if the mastermind is this like superhero-ish figure, you know what I mean, like the protector, the savior that Elliot wanted to be, I would assume that I'm the vindication, if that makes any sense, for the mastermind to keep on going. But again, Elliot isn't in the show. I think that is such an you know what I mean? And I want to repeat, the creator, Ismail, knew what he wanted to do, and I love that, because again, shows like Attack on Titan, I think Attack on Titan's the only one that I know that's like 100% in this regard, but like, it felt like Ismail, he knew what he wanted, and not just knew what he wanted, it was an act, it was an act, you know what I mean? He wrote the entire thing and reverse engineered it, or, you know what I mean? He said, okay, yep, I'm gonna have some insane foreshadowing for the final season, because I know what's going to happen. That gives me such Attack on Titan vibes. You know what I mean? It just, oh my god, it was perfect. And going back to the origin of the mastermind, I would assume that because obviously Elliot has been traumatized his entire life through his experiences. I would assume that the final kicker, not the final kicker, but like the thing that manifested the mastermind was Darlene returning. Just because I don't know. I don't exactly know why, because again, Elliot created the mastermind. You know what I mean? And the mastermind took control. It wasn't like the mastermind formed himself. Elliot created it. So I don't know, because I am recalling the that scene with the mask, that flashback I think was in season 2, where Darlene goes to visit Elliot and they're like going to watch a movie or something like that. Elliot had obviously always wanted revenge and control. He wanted, part of him wanted revenge and wanted to feel safe, and the mastermind was another one of those personalities formed to protect him. It was just a lot more controlling and more powerful than originally thought, and I think that explains a lot of the stuff, why Mr. Robot is very much at odds with the mastermind throughout the show, because you think that the mastermind is Elliot, but that's not the case. I would assume as the course, well, from the beginning of the show as well, but I would assume as the course of the show went on more and more, that the mastermind really like felt that it was his life. You know what I mean? He had been doing it. He had been trying to protect Elliot so hard that he sort of forgot about what was real. And that's why Mr. Robot was very much at odds with him, because he wasn't protecting the mastermind. He was trying to make sure that Elliot was okay. And I think I like a show like this because it had a happy, hopeful ending, but there's also a sense of tragedy about it, because, you could argue that the mastermind, that Elliot forming the mastermind persona essentially like kickstarts a lot of the bad stuff that he's gonna have to live with. You know what I mean? Specifically, sorry, my eyes are itchy. Angela's death is caused by events that the mastermind, you know what I mean, dabbled with, if that makes any sense. If the mastermind was never born, then there would be no need to go after White Rose or get involved with White Rose or anything like that. So that does suck. You know what I mean? But I also think that it's if this makes any sense, and a lot of the dialogue of the last episode really sort of, I felt like this was the case. I feel like one of the core messages of this show is that you as a person, you have so much talent, and you go live your life. You know what I mean? Go be who you want to be. Go live the life you want to live. Even if bad things happen to you, and again, you're talking about Elliot specifically, like he was molested at a young age. Like, that is horrifying. That's arguably the worst thing that can happen to someone, especially a child. But, and I don't know if I'm the best at saying this, and I don't even know if I'm going to word it correctly, but your life shouldn't end because something like that happens. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's going to be hard to get through it, but I feel like you owe it to yourself to move on. And not move on isn't forget about it, because you can never forget about something like that. But, you know, you have to just keep fighting and keep living and keep on moving, if that makes sense. And again, that was something monstrous that was done to him. I even think the death of Angela is also something that's done to himself. You know what I mean? The mastermind essentially got the love of his life, the love of Elliot's life, killed. But Elliot still needs to wake up at the end, because Elliot needs to move, to go forward. You know what I mean? It sucks, and it sucks that Angela was gone. It sucks, man, and that's so emotional. And like, Angela liked him. You know what I mean? And obviously Elliot really liked Angela, and he was just so mentally jumbled up that it was hard for him to, you know what I mean? But I don't know. It felt like the unresolved trauma, because I'm trying to think about it. Elliot as the OG Elliot, and from now on, when I say Elliot, I'm talking about original Elliot. I'm gonna say the mastermind if it's, you know, events of the show Elliot. But you know, again, the mastermind pushed Elliot so deep down in this loop to protect him. But I could also argue that I feel like Elliot was doing okay. I feel like Elliot was, you know what I mean, before the events of the story, he had a job. He had a crush on, you know, Angela and all that, but it didn't feel like it was going good, and he still had trauma within him, and he still had that anger and that rage that manifested the mastermind, I would assume. But it felt like there was some semblance of hope, and the rage and the destructive nature paired along with Darlene's return, I would assume. Well, cause I don't know, because Darlene says that by the time she got back, well, no, maybe that throws a wrench in why I was thinking, because Darlene says that when she got back, he was already the mastermind. So Darlene, okay, so I understand now. Or at least, again, you guys can please let me know in the comments. The rage and everything had Elliot. Elliot succumbed to that anger, and that's what manifested the mastermind, and then the mastermind took control. And the only way for him to ever take back control was through Darlene, because that was the one thing that he had been robbed of relationship-wise, because Darlene left. Because, you know, Darlene wasn't there, and he so strongly desired that relationship with Darlene, and it didn't happen. That's the reason that the mastermind completely blocked Darlene out of his life. You know what I mean? And I hope I'm reading this correctly. Like, even the season one, the loop timeline thing, I don't know exactly what you call it, with the young Darlene. That is young Darlene, correct? And even young Darlene saying, like, we're not friends or whatever. And you know what I mean? Darlene not... dude. Wow. This was so good, man. I'm sorry if the conversation is a little out of place or out of order. It's like I'm just like I'm like emotionally talking about not a breakup because it ended bad, but I mean breakup as in the show ended. So it's like I'm without Mr. Robot. So I'm trying to, like, hold myself and everything like that. But I really enjoyed that. And again, I love Darlene. If you guys remember, I feel like I had this conversation either at the end of season 3 or the beginning of season 2. I liked Darlene. But Darlene was probably my least favorite of all of the major characters. And again, I want to repeat, I loved Darlene. I love all the characters in the show, but if you put a gun to my head, Darlene and Tyrell were probably my bottom 2 favorites of the main cast. I did always like, not always, season 2 on, I liked Darlene more than Tyrell, but I love that reveal about Darlene as well, and it's more heartbreaking, like, knowing, because it's funny, I even had the same reaction, and I forget, it might have been the season 2 conversation with Cisco, I forget when it happened, where Darlene goes, like, you know, I didn't care what we were doing or anything like that, I just wanted to spend time with my brother. It's even more heartbreaking because she knows it wasn't her brother. You know what I mean? Like, that also really almost made me cry. And that brother-sister relationship, again, that's the first time on my channel that I cried. I would classify myself as crying there. That was beautiful. And again, it hit so close to home, so it really the personal aspect of it really makes me even more connected to the show in that regard. But yeah, Darlene really rose so much, and the acting. I don't even know how to pronounce her name. Is it Charlie? Something like that. Charlie or I don't know. I need to learn her name immediately though. Oh, let me look it up. That's the thing. I've always been so afraid to look up Mr. Robot stuff because I don't want to get spoiled. But I can now do that. So, it's Carly Chaikin. Okay, I put the thingy on her other name. Carly Chaikin. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I need to know what else she's in because she was phenomenal. Again, her acting there at the end made me cry. That such like subtle facial expression of understanding that Elliot was there is, oh my god, dude. And again, I love the idea of a show ending with the entirety of the time you didn't even know Elliot. You knew a version of Elliot, and the minute that the real Elliot finally gets released, you don't even see it because you don't have to see it because you understand. You know what I mean? It was so good. It was so good there, and it was so good. I don't know what to say. This is one of the all-time great shows. I'm just so happy that that's the case. Talking about White Rose for a minute, and I'm just looking at my character list here. White Rose, I really liked, and you know, I feel like White Rose was an excellent parallel to Elliot in the first, and I'm not talking about the Mastermind, Elliot. You know what I mean? It felt like the same thing in the sense of these two people had birthed a new version, obviously in Elliot's case, multiple versions, new versions of themselves out of trauma, out of, you know what I mean? Just really doubling down into these personalities because of trauma that they had experienced. And obviously the goals and the you know what I mean, the motivations were very different. Obviously White Rose is an evil person. White Rose is a delusional person. And I'll get back to White Rose in a minute because I want to talk about her machine, and it's almost like a MacGuffin, or you know what I mean. I want to talk about that in a minute, but you guys could tell, and I'm not saying this isn't a bad thing, like that they never went to the supernatural thing, but you guys could tell how obsessed I was with the theories and the this and the that, and because I'll be honest, I thought as I was watching and I got into like season 2 and early season 3, I thought that. A part of me thought that the reason that everyone thought that season 4 was so crazy and so amazing and one of the greatest seasons of all time, I thought that it was going to take that step into crazy supernatural. Like I thought that's what they were going to do. And I didn't have a preference whether or not, but like a part of me was like, yes, supernatural. And they kept like edging me and not going down that path. And they never go down that path. And I think that is almost equally as like, oh my God, that's crazy that they never do that, because they play with you. They play with your emotions and your thoughts, and I love that so much because the emotional impact of someone with DID is just as like emotionally riveting and plot twisty and all that as if there was time travel or parallel universes or weird VR things that I stupidly theorized about. Like, you know what I mean? I love that they didn't go down that route, and because it makes me appreciate Elliot and the Mastermind even so much more, you know, and that journey so much more. And White Rose's machine, going back to that, you know, obviously was the main root of this weird, creepy time travel, parallel universe, something weird, mysterious going on. And I like it because, again, it's anticlimax. And I love anticlimax. It's something I talk about a lot in my Sopranos reactions, that show does excellently. I don't need, like, I watch so much TV and narrative. Like, there's climaxes everywhere. Like, sometimes if you can do a really good, like, rip it away from the audience, I think it can be just as good. So, you know, talking about the idea that this machine is nothing, or even if it was something, you know what I mean? It didn't come to fruition. It didn't happen. It blew up, or it got shut down, or it didn't work. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if it was real or not, because nothing happened. Nothing came of it. You know, to me, I really got the, and again, I don't want to act like I'm some, like, I knew everything all along, because that's not the case. If you guys go back and watch my reactions and my discussions, that's not the case. I didn't know that much. I had theories and I had this, but like, again, I loved Angela as a character so much, and I had so much faith in her. I'm not saying she let me down, you know what I mean? But she stumbled. She got manipulated. And, you know, originally when White Rose was talking about all this stuff and time travel and her machine and all that, I immediately called her out and said, it was bullshit. You know, this feels like just a manipulation tactic to control people or do this or do that. And I don't even know if that's the case. Because I almost feel like White Rose actually believed in this stuff. Well, I don't know, because that I like. I'm sorry for going all over the place. What I also love about Mr. Robot is how open-ended it is. It's not like some 100% set in stone. There's different ways you can visualize or interpret certain things. White Rose is one of those characters. Obviously, none of that stuff was real. None of the stuff was real. No time travel, no nothing. So there's two ways you can view White Rose's character. You can view her, one, as someone who knew everything she was doing was fake. It was a manipulation tactic. It was something that she wanted to use to control people and control their destinies and all that. But you could also argue that she could have drank her own Kool-Aid. She could have genuinely believed that machine would time travel or would make a parallel universe or anything like that. And her shooting herself was trying to be a part of that. But you could also then, again, and what I probably tend to believe, I actually don't know. If you go back on the other side that I was just talking about, that she was manipulating people and she didn't believe in her own Kool-Aid at all, you could also say that she shot herself in the head at the end to screw with Elliot, or to screw with the mastermind. Because she had already lost everything. She had lost everything close to her, dear to her. She lost her power. She lost her this. She had nothing left. So why not kill herself in a way to make it, the ultimate trick, if that makes sense. So I like how, with White Rose's character, there's no, this is exactly what happened. You know what I mean? And I don't want anyone to say, they essentially did it with the Krista scene. You know what I mean? Where they take a good 5 minutes and explain to you exactly what was happening. That's a little different because that's kind of needed. You know what I mean? Elliot is such an important part of obviously he's the main character. The mastermind was the main character of the show. Me, obviously, and I'm assuming everyone else needed, okay, this is exactly what happened. So I'm not saying it's bad to plot dump or lore dump or anything like that, but I'm just saying that in White Rose's case, I don't think that's needed. I think that White Rose as a villain can be left very wide open, and I really, really, really enjoy that. I really enjoyed that. And BD Wong, you guys have got to let me know what else BD Wong is in. His acting the entire show, but specifically seasons 3 and 4, and specifically the scenes with Philip. And I'll talk about Philip a little bit. I hope. I still have a lot of characters to talk about. I don't know how long I want to be here for. I mentioned many times, this was a show that you could put any two characters on the screen at any time for any length of time. You know what I mean? And it was the pinnacle of cinema. And out of all of those characters, and out of all of those relationships, and out of all of those duos, my favorite on-screen duo was White Rose and Philip. The scenes in which they were together were absolutely magic. And again, I'm not saying they're the only ones. Again, you talk about, the Mastermind and Mr. Robot, or you know what I mean, a couple of these other duos that were just 10 out of 10 every time they were talking to each other. But something about the Philip and the White Rose and the pettiness and the everything about it, because again, both of those people, obviously they aren't good people. White Rose is a manipulator, is a delusional beast, you know what I mean? And Philip is a power hungry snake, you know what I mean? Obviously he does have a weak spot, and that is why he turned to the good side, or I wouldn't even call him the good side, I would just call it the side against White Rose, you know what I mean? Because that soft spot was located and twisted and pulled and made so much worse with the death of Angela. Their scenes were, especially in season 2 and 3, no, in 4, because season 4 episode 9 was absolutely incredible, you know what I mean? Every time they were on screen, it was pure gold, pure magic. I want to talk about Dom for a minute too. I absolutely love Dom. Again, one of my favorite characters. Again, I had trouble with the character ranking, so I couldn't give you an exact ranking, but she's probably anywhere from 5 to 7 in that range. I absolutely loved her. I loved her journey and her, you know what I mean? It's moving on. I feel like a lot of the characters had a parallel, and obviously there were many times throughout the show that I made parallels from Dom to Elliot. I don't know if I can. The ending, it almost feels like the same thing that Elliot experiences, in the sense of, I feel like Dom had so much trauma and so much self-hatred and all that she was purposefully locking herself up. So in her final episode, well, non-dream state thingy. In her final episode, it feels like she finally lets herself out of that prison. You know what I mean? And I feel like Elliot is the same way. Obviously, it's not Elliot letting Elliot out of jail. It's the mastermind letting Elliot out of the jail. But there is that parallel that I feel like there is, if that makes any sense. So I have to applaud her. Again, it's another thing, too. How do I explain this? She's essentially a POV, not a POV, she's a main protagonist in the second season, you know what I mean? The second season is so interesting, because, and I think that's maybe why people say it's the worst season. Again, I don't think so, I absolutely loved it, but it feels so segmented, you know what I mean? Joanna is like her own main character in her own little story. Dom is her own main character in her own little story. Darlene is very segmented away from Elliot for a large portion of the season. She feels like she's the main character in her own little storyline. Obviously, Elliot in prison, which, oh my god, dude, oh my god, I need that. That just hit my stupid head, my big fat head, dude. Oh my god, and the fish, dude. I'm so. Season 1, episode 4. Just for that 10-minute scene, and I'm not saying that the rest of the episode is bad whatsoever. Don't mistake what I'm saying. But season 1, episode 4 may end up being a top 5 episode of the show for me, just because of that hallucination thing, or not. It's not a hallucination. It's a, you guys know what I mean. But just because of that, every line, every piece of dialogue, every the window, the fish in the window, and the this and the that, and the oh my god, it was so good, man. But anyway. What I was trying to say is I really like the structure of Mr. Robot as well, and I don't know how to word this or explain this, because at the end of the day, at the end of the story, the most important thing was the mastermind and Darlene. That's the main storyline of the show, you know what I mean? Without a doubt. But you can't, I don't know, you can't have the entire show be about that one storyline for 4 seasons. There's other characters, there's other story. You know what I mean? If the mastermind is, in a plot to save the world or get involved with the FBI or whatever, yeah, you kind of want a POV of the FBI. So, and that's the Dom thing I'm talking about. But it really felt like there was so many storylines in the first and second season. I'm talking about Joanna and Tyrell and obviously Elliot and Darlene and Angela and Philip and White Rose, and there was all these storylines. And again, this isn't a negative. I'm just pointing out that Mr. Robot is very unique in this sense. I feel like other shows would have, like, the 8 storylines that are in seasons 1 and 2, and they would keep going throughout the entire time, and they would shift and they would evolve. Whereas Mr. Robot didn't do that. I hope you guys understand what I mean. I feel like most shows start off with 8 storylines. And I'm sorry if I'm not wording this correctly. I'm not saying exactly 8. I'm just using it as a placeholder. But I feel like a lot of shows start off with like a set number of storylines, and those storylines like evenly distribute all the way to the end, if you understand what I mean. That didn't feel like the case in Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot, it felt like it started off with like 8 storylines in seasons 1 and 2, and Joanna dies. And it's not like that storyline doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't shift anything, it just ends. The Tyrell stuff, it feels like it ends. The Dom stuff, it ended. It felt like we just kept going on until the only storyline was the final thing with Elliot and his persona and the mastermind and all that. And again, it's the same thing with me saying that each season of Mr. Robot gets better. I'm not saying that I have a preference. I'm not saying that in order to be a great show or to have a great storyline, you need to delete storylines like that, or you need to get better each season. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I've never experienced something like that, and I don't know. Like I said, I liked it. I liked the way they did it. I'm sorry. I've been talking for like 45 minutes. Okay, and I'm gonna keep talking. Okay, the conversation may not be the absolute best, but I hope you guys understand what some of my main points were. Vera, I do want to say I really liked Vera. And again, I'm not gonna talk about every character for 20 minutes. I want to give a quick run through just because it's the last episode. This is probably the last opportunity I'm gonna be able to talk about these people in a common or public area. You know what I mean? I loved Vera. I loved his return. I thought that it was again. I know that season 4, episode 7 is the most popular and most iconic episode of the show, and I probably do agree with that. And again, on my rewatch, I'll probably rank every episode because I do want to do That's something I'll mention that at the end in case people skip around. But I hope to do that one day. I hope in about a year or two, after rewatching Mr. Robot once or twice, I want to do like a video essay, like like Glidus does for Game of Thrones, where he ranks every episode of Game of Thrones that's ever aired. I want to rank every episode of Mr. Robot, and I want to give like a quick little summary and analysis of each episode and why I love it so much, and give an exact ranking or put it on like a a tier ranking. I really want to do that. So I'm very excited for that. Like I said, season 4, episode 7 may end up being my favorite episode of the show. I just don't know yet. I'm gonna wait until I rewatch it again. But Vera played such an important role in arguably the most iconic moment of the show, and it's well deserved. And as with a lot of people, I would assume that if you watch season 1, you wouldn't have expected that out of Vera. You wouldn't have expected Vera to be a part of arguably the biggest part of the show. And not that he's terrible, and you go back, I did love him. I liked his weird, quirky this and that, but he really shined in minimal screen time in season 4. So props to him. Look at these characters. Again, Joanna, you guys know how much I absolutely loved Joanna. Again, it was really sad how she died pretty early on in the show and how abrupt it was. And again, really abrupt, like to the point where you're like, oh my god, dude, that it almost, if this makes any sense, I'm not a good writer. I want to be an author and everything. I'm not saying I'm better than Ismail, but I'm saying like some of the storylines, like with Joanna and Tyrell, they almost feel like, oh man, that's a missed opportunity. You could have done more. But I want to repeat, I'm okay with it. I'm not angry or upset, because the mastermind and Elliot, that is the pun intended, that is the key of the show. That is the important part of the show. So it's okay to make some of the characters that you originally thought were going to be really, really important to make them take a little backseat, because Elliot and the mastermind and Mr. Robot are the important figurehead of the entire story. It's the reason why it exists. You know what I mean? Because it's another thing too, and I really love that, because I talk about all these storylines with this and that. At the end of the day, it's not important. The most important thing is Elliot and the mastermind and the reasons why he went down this path. You know what I mean? So even someone like White Rose, you know what I mean? White Rose is that entire storyline, the Dark Army and all that. It's an important part of the show, and it's great. But at the end of the day, like she gets defeated. I don't even want to say defeated, but like the machine wasn't real. You know what I mean? It didn't come to fruition. It didn't actually happen. So it's okay to like not. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly. I'm sorry if I'm. You know what I mean? So like, what I'm trying to say is this: Joanna is connected to Tyrell, who's connected to E Corp, who they're being taken down by Elliot, who's actually the mastermind. And the only reason that the mastermind is taking down the E Corp and all that and saving the world is because he's the personification, the manifestation of Elliot, of the original abused Elliot's rage and dreams and goals and hopes and aspirations to be this strong superhero-like figure. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is that all of those storylines in the show, the Dark Army, the E Corp, the All Safes, the all that, they boil down to the mastermind being a fake Elliot, to being a personification of a specific personality trait of Elliot. You know what I mean? So it's okay to, you know what I mean? It's okay that those storylines didn't take center stage. Like, it sucks Joanna died. It sucks that Tyrell died early on in season 4, but like, it leaves room for what the actual main cause and main root and main focus of the show is. You know what I mean? I hope I'm saying that correctly. And that's another thing too. And this is the finale, so I really hope that you guys get involved with the story and the discussion and all that. But I really want you guys to let me know, like, not just like, I'm not talking about like Easter eggs or theories or stuff I didn't understand. I want to know your guys' experience watching the show as well, because this is incredible. I can finally I can finally watch people's reactions. I cannot wait to go to LM Reactions, and I cannot wait to go to Blind Wave and all that. I can't wait to see some of these reactions, because, oh my god, man. What a perfect show. One of my all-time favorite shows, man. Wow. And I will say, well, again, as I just said a couple minutes ago, I'm very strongly planning to do a ranking every episode of Mr. Robot. I want to do a video essay. I hope it'll be released in a year or maybe 2 years down the line, or after a couple rewatches, and I'm really confident and strong with all of the lore or all the dialogue or all the foreshadowing or all of the small little details of the show. After I'm 100% confident with all that, I want to rank all the episodes, and I'll probably have a little segment of that video talking about how some of my opinions have changed, or talking about the exact specific ranking where Mr. Robot is, because again, like I said at the beginning of the discussion, Mr. Robot, as of right now, after one watch, is probably either my 4th or 5th or 6th favorite show of all time, but it can be as high as number 2 on a couple rewatches. So, like, that's, you know what I mean? And even like my character ranking, I hope that when I do that video essay thing, I have digested the story for long enough that I can sit down and go, okay, this is my exact ranking of this is my exact ranking of that. That's my top 5 characters in order. I want to be able to do that as well. I don't want to go into any specific spoilers of any shows, because this is the next little segment I want to talk about. I want to talk about some of the shows that Mr. Robot reminded me of, and I already mentioned a lot of them. Well, I mentioned all of them, but I do just want to take a minute to say, like, again, no specific spoilers, but in terms of the viewing experience, this, oh my god, dude. Hear what I'm about to say, and this right here, what I'm about to say, I may be making an argument for is why Mr. Robot should be my favorite show of all time. I'm about to say this. I repeat, mystery box genre is my favorite genre. It's what has really made me fall in love with fiction and narrative and story and all that. In those regards, my 3 favorite shows of that genre, Lost, Attack on Titan, and The Leftovers, I think that Mr. Robot may be the perfect combination of all 3 of them. Well, let me explain. I think that Mr. Robot is the exact same viewing experience as Attack on Titan, as I've mentioned multiple times in this reaction. Or in this discussion, in this reaction of the entire series, yeah. Attack on Titan is one of those shows where it feels like every single detail was written from the very beginning. It's one of those shows that you watch certain reveals, or you get to the end and you see how it ends, and you see all these, you rewatch and you see all these pieces of foreshadowing, whether it's symbolic or thematic or actual characters just coming out and saying, you're not Elliot, or, you know what I mean? Attack on Titan has that same exact viewing experience where it's shock and awe and the perfect roller coaster on the first watch, and then you rewatch it and you think to yourself, I am an absolute idiot for not picking up on anything. And I praise that. I praise that experience. Then with Lost, and I'm not going to break down every single detail of Lost, but obviously it's that same mystery box genre and plot twists and all that. But the last couple episodes gave me very much, and again, no spoilers, I'm just going to say one word, it gave me Flash Sideways vibes. And I love that, because I love Lost, and I really like the last season of Lost. I know that, again, it's very sad, and I do want to say this. If you guys have not watched Lost, and you've only watched Mr. Robot, and you've heard all these shitty falsities about Lost, and people saying, oh, the ending is absolutely horrible, or the 6th season is terrible, it's just not true. Like, it is just not true. The 6th season of Lost is great. Is it one of the, like, bottom 2 seasons of the show? Yeah, but that's fine. Mr. Robot, you ready? People saying that Mr. Robot, people saying that Lost Season 6 is the worst season of Lost is the equivalent of me saying that Mr. Robot Season 1 is the worst season of Mr. Robot. Yeah, it's the worst, but it's Mr. Robot. It's a perfect season. So, but it gave me Flash Sideways vibes, comparative to the last half of episode 10 and the entirety of 11 and the first half of 12. Or 13. Did I get that wrong? Oh, I got that really wrong. The first half of 13, the entirety of 12, and the second half of 11. It gave me very much, Lost vibes in that regard. So I was very, very happy about that. Finally, the final show, The Leftovers. And again, I want to stay absolutely no spoilers for The Leftovers. But again, I repeat, The Leftovers is tied with Mr. Robot as my favorite ending in the history of fiction. What Mr. Robot shares with The Leftovers for me is the ambiguity. And I'm not saying, again, I don't want anyone to misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying that shows that tell you exactly what happened are bad shows. No. Attack on Titan tells you exactly some of the stuff that happens. Lost tells you some of the exact stuff that happens. again, I don't want to act like a complete Lost fanatic, but a lot of people would say that Lost is open-ended or ambiguous, but it's really not. All the answers are right there. If you don't know them, you're just kind of fucking stupid. I'm gonna be honest, but the Mr. Robot shares the ambiguity with the leftovers. It leaves a lot of stuff open-ended to your interpretation. It doesn't need to answer everything. Like for instance, Tyrell's ending, and it's either episode 3 or 4. I always forget which episode. But his ending, his death. You know what I mean? It's very open-ended. It's weird. It's mystical. It's, you know what I mean? I think in certain shows they would like give you an exact, like, oh, this is actually exactly what happened to Tyrell. But this show leaves it open-ended. That ending to Tyrell is something that I could imagine myself in the leftovers. You know what I mean? Just that weird, mysterious, open-ended ambiguity that's like, what is going on? But also, you don't need to know exactly what's going on because you get the vibe, you get the gist, you get the thematic point of it. Like Tyrell in the woods dying right there, it's, yeah, there's a weird light and all that, but it's almost like symbolic of like acceptance of moving on, or you know what I mean? Like it doesn't need to be like shoved right in your face. Some things can just be left to interpretation. That's absolutely fine. Because again, I want to repeat, Tyrell. I liked Tyrell as a character. Again, I thought that he was going to be one of my favorites by the end, at the beginning of the show, but by the end he really wasn't. He was my 11th favorite character in the show. Tyrell is parallel-wise, and you know, connections to the Mastermind and connections to Elliot, like again, is equivalent. You know, I have something else I want to talk about. Sorry, let me write that down. You know, Tyrell is important to the Mastermind and Elliot, but he's not super. You know what I mean? So it's fine if you leave Tyrell open-ended because he's not Elliot. He's not the Mastermind. He's not that main core, that main storyline in the show. And that's what it's all about. Everything in the show leads back to Elliot's childhood trauma and his DID. And you know what I mean? It all leads to that. All the decisions of the show, the entirety of going after E Corp. I want to keep calling it F Corp because the last couple episodes. But going after E Corp and getting revenge and Elliot's anger and all that, it's like it all goes back to that, if that makes sense. But something I do want to say, and I just thought of this while I was talking. The going back to episode 11, season 4, episode 11. Yeah, season 4, episode 11, with the White Rose shooting herself in the head, and then Elliot playing that game. Kind of want to go rewatch that Angela scene, that Angela White Rose interrogation. I'm not going to do that on camera. I'm going to be honest. I think this video is going to be long enough, and not only is this video going to be long enough, but the filming session. The filming session is like 2.5 hours as of right now. But I do want to go back to see the Angela interrogation to see, because obviously again, White Rose is full of shit. It's all manipulation, but I want to see the exact sort of parallels and specifics about all of that, if that makes any sense. Elliot playing that computer game. That's what I'm trying to talk about. Elliot playing the computer game in season 4, episode 11. If I'm thinking about this correctly, they're in the dark and there's a friend, and the Mastermind's first, his gut reaction is to leave his friend in the dark and go, and he gets told to restart. You know what I mean? Restart, and he makes the decision to bring the friend with him. You know what I mean? I think that is what, I don't know. Yeah. So I absolutely love that stuff. I absolutely love that stuff. Please, guys, in the comments, I'm gonna be honest. If you're listening to me talk right now, this isn't an ask. I'm telling you. If you listen to me talk about Mr. Robot for a full hour, I'm asking you to please listen to me when I say this. Can you drop a long list of some of your favorite pieces of foreshadowing or symbolism or thematic parallels or whatever? Please, I want to know as much as possible. Obviously, again, I'm going to rewatch the show. I'm going to rewatch a show probably, if I'm going to be honest, at least once a year for the rest of my life. And you know, that's how good this story and this narrative was. I cannot wait to re-experience this all the time. But I do want to list. I want to list some of your favorite stuff. Real quick, I want to mention Irving. So I want to rapid fire some of these characters. Irving and Janice, two of the GOAT Dark Army operatives. I absolutely loved them. I kind of loved how Irving absolutely hated Janice, essentially, or calling her a nobody or whatever. Again, I talked about them a lot, especially when well, I don't know if I necessarily talked about Irving a lot, but I talked a lot about Janice when she died. Again, they are part of the greatest accumulation of villains I've ever seen in TV. Like, genuinely, I did, and I said this when I said this. One of the episodes Janice was introduced, or Janice hit her strides. I did not expect Mr. Robot to have such an excellent collection of characters. Like, I did not expect that at all. Again, I'm not saying like I didn't expect it to have good villains. I'm saying that I just didn't expect it. I got completely blindsided by that idea, and perfect. You know what I mean? So goddamn good, man. This show is so good. It's really good, man. I don't know if I want to say anything else. I don't know what else there is to talk about. Again, there's probably, again, I don't want to be too hard on myself because this is the final episode of this reaction series. There's probably a whole bunch of other details that I could talk about, but again, I didn't write them down. I don't really want to. There are certain times when I like to write down bullet points for my discussions. I don't really want to do that every episode because I don't want it to seem like my conversations are manufactured or anything like that. I talk. I talk. I think and I talk and I feel and my emotions and all that. I just do that. You know, so there are probably other small details that I want to talk about. And again, I repeat, and I really encourage people, please talk in the comments. I want to respond. I want to talk. I want to be invested. I want to know what you guys think, and I want to talk to you guys about that. So please do that. But I don't know. I think that might be it for me. Let me put my hood up for our last couple minutes together. I loved this show, man. What a show. I do want to say this. Obviously, I am filming these ahead of time. I'm filming these in July, early July. So, July, August, September, October, November, December. I'm filming these 5 months in advance because I know that this final episode is going to air mid-December. Starting next week, I'm going to be starting a new show. Obviously, at this point, I don't know when. I know that at some point I posted a poll to let people choose shows. I know that there's a couple really good shows like Dark and Twin Peaks and you know, Fringe, and I put a lot of I put 2 polls up. I know that there's a lot of shows that could have won. And I actually, I don't know how long you guys are watching me watching me watch the finale in December, but I hope you guys voted in the polls, you know what I mean? But I really do hope that you guys stick around with me. I really enjoyed this experience. Again, this is one of my all-time favorite shows. Please, if you have any shows that are like this in any regard, let me know. You know, I repeat, Lost, The Leftovers, Mr. Robot, Attack on Titan, you know, I want to watch Steins Gate. I've heard that Steins Gate is pretty similar in those regards. I want to watch Fringe. I don't exactly know. I want to watch Fringe. I want to watch From. I want to watch Dark. I want to watch Twin Peaks. You know, I have so many shows that I'm really, really so excited to watch. If you know any in this same category, the same vibe, the same feelings, the same emotions, experiences, please let me know. Drop them in the comments. They'll always, again, I hope to be doing this reaction channel for a very long time. I hope that I'm able to watch like hundreds and hundreds of shows over the course of the time that I do this. So I want to get to everything I possibly can. That's another thing too. I'm just thinking now. Again, I couldn't have done it, but part of me, I gotta take the hood off. It's getting hot in here. I probably could maybe something. Actually, you know what? I might do this. Again, I repeat, I'm filming this in July. 5 months until this airs on YouTube. In that 5-month time period, after I've been given a little bit of time to slow down and think, and you know, maybe even by the time this airs on YouTube, I might have already rewatched the show. But I may even compile, like I may, after 5 months, I may even know my top 10 favorite characters, and I might put them in the YouTube comments. I might even know my top 10 favorite episodes of the show in the exact order, and I might put them in the comments. So please, if you're watching this on YouTube, check the YouTube comments. I might, or even the description. I don't know where I'll put it. I might have, you know, listed some of the lists that I'm having trouble with putting exactly. I might even do like a, you know, my top 5 shows up to give you exactly where Mr. Robot ranks. I might give you You know, I might do it. I'm no promises and all that. And you guys looking at the comments like, this man's a liar. He didn't do any of this stuff. What's wrong with him? But I may do that. I really may do that. But I think that's gonna be it. I hope I'm not forgetting anything major. I really hope I'm not. I don't want to end it. I had this same. What did I experience this with? Free Run. I experienced it with Free Run. That's a little different because it was only season 1. But like, I don't want to end these shows. Monster. I experienced it with Monster. Monster is one of my all-time favorite shows that and one of the shows that I started off watching for my channel. And I watched all 74 episodes, on YouTube. And I remember my final discussion. I didn't want to turn it off. I had like an hour discussion, you know, about as long as I had my Mr. Robot discussion. And I just didn't want to turn off the camera because the minute I turn off the camera, I know that it's going to be fine. Final. I know that I'm not gonna. I can always rewatch it, but this is my first experience. The minute I stop talking about Mr. Robot, that's the end of my first experience. So, and also I want to keep talking because I don't want to miss anything, and I feel like if I keep talking forever, I will eventually land on everything I want to talk about. But I think that's gonna be it. Shout out to Leon. Shout out to my boy Leon. I wanted to make sure I got that in there real quick. I think that is the end of my Mr. Robot reaction series. The final thing I will say, again, other than the video essay that I'm planning to do a year or two down the line, Mr. Robot is officially in the breed of show. It's up there with Mr. Robot, Severance, Silo, Attack on Titan, Monster. It's in that breed of show that I've watched that it may not be the end of Mr. Robot for my channel. And what I mean by that is, if I ever, you know, find a friend that wants to, you know, film, you know, a reaction series with me and they haven't seen Mr. Robot will be one of the first series that I want to rewatch on the channel. So if you're watching this 3 or 4 or 5 years down the line, check my channel. I might have a second Mr. Robot reaction series with a friend or a group of friends that have never seen it, and you get to experience their first time viewing it as well as mine. So I really hope I can find friends that really want to do that, because I mentioned the reason that I started this YouTube channel was because I have watched YouTube reactions to TV for 10 years. It was one of my favorite things to do because a part of me almost feels like the only thing better than watching something on your own is watching other people experience it for the first time. Seeing their reactions and their theories and their everything about it. It's almost just as validating or as entertaining as you watching it by yourself. So I do hope that one day, and I know that's why you guys are watching me, you know, the 12 people that are going to tune into this video. I know that's why you guys are watching me, because you want to see how I react to everything. So I hope that one day I can do that with people on the channel. But that's gonna be it, man. The final thing. If you guys look around, and again, I don't know if I'll have this exact setup for the rest of my YouTube experience or whatever, but Mr. Robot, again, I repeat, is a top 5 show of all time for me. It deserves a spot on the wall. I got to get a poster. And I will 100% also, again, you look at me, I don't have any tattoos. I don't know if this says cringy or whatever. I'm systematically planning like full body tattoos of every piece of media that I love. So Mr. Robot will one day be on that list. Please drop some recommendations of a Mr. Robot tattoo. But I will memorialize Mr. Robot on my body with a tattoo in the future. But I need to get a Mr. Robot poster, and obviously I have an empty spot there, so that may be the perfect spot for it. I have a lot of One Piece posters. I love One Piece, don't get me wrong, it's one of my top 20 shows of all time, but the posters were like dirt cheap, so that's why there's a whole bunch of them everywhere. So I can replace a couple of them. But if you guys are ever just interested in a small detail like that, check some of my future reaction series. I might have a Mr. Robot poster up. So I think that's going to be it. I'm sorry for yapping for an hour and 10 minutes. I'm sorry for dragging this out. It's not on purpose. It's my way of emotionally coping with such an emotional show. Again, I really want to say, this is, again, I've been doing this, well, by the time this airs, I've been doing YouTube for 1.5 years, but by the time I'm filming this, it's been a little over 1 year since I started the YouTube channel. And again, I didn't have tears dripping down, but I had to wipe my eyes because there was water in them. So I classify that as a cry. So first show that I really, I don't want to say that because Free Run got me close, but this is one of the first shows where I really, really cried. So Hello, Elliot. Man, this show hit really close to home, man. Wow. I thank you guys for watching. If you guys ever want to see my full-length reactions to the series, I have a Patreon, like I say every episode. It is $10 a month for live action shows, and I have the entirety of all 4 seasons on my Patreon. Unless I die early, they won't be taken down anytime soon, so please check it out over on my Patreon. Please like the video. Please comment on the video like I begged you 20 times to start the discussion. You gotta comment. I want to talk to you guys about this. And finally, and most importantly, if you enjoyed my reactions to Mr. Robot, you enjoyed this one episode, or you enjoy my entire series, or you enjoy anything that I produce on this channel, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. It really does help me out. I don't want to end it. I don't want to end it, but I got to. I'll see you guys. You guys have a good one.